Runswick Bay, the idea, as far as we were concerned, was to build something different for the exhibition circuit. Lots of end-to-end small space layouts, lots of large layouts with noise and long trains and speed and so on. We wanted to build a scenic layout that would still entertain the public if we'd left all the stock and locomotives at home by accident. And I think we've achieved that. We were very worried for the first few exhibitions when there's just one train trundling round a single track. Was it entertaining the public? But there's a lot of scenic modelling on it, but in addition a lot of gimmicks. A day-night scene, so you see the houses light up, because we've done that on previous layouts. But doing the interior of a building and lighting it up in a well-lit exhibition hall, people don't see that interior. So to put a canopy over, not to create darkness, which would be impossible in an exhibition hall, but to dull the exhibition hall lights and then bring the house lights up gradually, people notice something lighting up. It draws their eye, draws their attention. The children in particular at a lower level can see into the house and will then make their parents aware of that. And then other working gimmicks such as coal drops. Why not have the wagons work? Why not actually drop coal down the shoes? It's a gimmick for the kids, but also the adults say, well, how do you do that? You know, we've developed the mechanisms and the electrics to do it. A lot of it's electromechanical springs and rubber bands and things like that, but it works. Runswick Bay, like many of the old coastal resorts, is actually split into two towns. There's the fishing village under the harbour there, and that's the old fishing port, horses and carts and so on. When the railway came, that expanded the fishing area to the entire country for the fishing away. The railway brought workers in, people in, and we have an Edwardian town as the modern upper town, so to speak. And that's got the Industrial Revolution then, with mines and shops, and you'll have busy level crossing and so on. Pubs, of course, more so than down in the old town. So we've actually got two layouts in one here, an Edwardian or Victorian town as after the railway had arrived, and the original fishing town, which was 16th, 17th century prior to the railways, where the only access was really by sea. Round in the Edwardian town we have the level crossing area, rather a nice feature there. We've got 3 tracks wide on the railway, but a very narrow road as it would have been in them days, hardly any traffic. So we had to research a lot of old pictures to see how did they actually put gates of a narrow road across a very wide railway, and the gates actually folded back down the tracks, which you can probably see on the film at some point anyway. Underneath there, getting the mechanism to work them all in sequence was quite a nightmare. And there's various clutches, pulleys, bits of string and cotton and things. But after 13 years of use, I've only ever had to go under once to sort it out, and that's after we'd actually damaged it in transit, so it's been totally reliable. The station is a typical station on the line. All the stations were designed by the same North Eastern Railway architect and just made longer or shorter. Now, there's Because we have a fairly sharp radii at 6 feet, to model a station full size, a long straight building, it would emphasise the sharp radii in the corners. But what we've done is we cut it down to 2/3 its actual size. And it doesn't look out of place at that. It's still actually the largest building on the layout. But being one of the main features on the layout, it is fully modelled interior-wise. And we did get inside the prototype building, even though it's actually somebody's house now, to discover the ladies' room and the gents and the station master's office and so on. So we could model the inside with everything that used to be there, of course. This layout is a model of the Whitby-Middlesbrough Railway. All the buildings and viaducts and things on it actually existed. The line's sadly now closed, but the viaduct you see behind you is actually Sands End Viaduct, the foundations of which you can still see. We modelled that one because although all the viaducts were steel construction, the stone arch is on the end as well, so we get the concept of stone and steel together. Personally, the layout's broken a barrier for me. It's brought together a number of interests and hobbies: walking, scenery, industrial archaeology and railway modelling. It was the first layout in the club that was invited overseas on its own merit and has followed many others since. It's been wonderful to tour with. It's certainly brought a different aspect of modelling to the group, where moving trains are no longer that relevant. People are more interested in asking, how was it done, how does this work, and oh, look at that, rather than staring in wonder at the large colourful train whizzing past at speed.